Hello and welcome to the Troupe's production of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. This show is in the public domain during this performance. This performance will be recorded, so please be kind to our cast and videographers by refraining from filming video and flash photography. Please take this time to silence all electronic devices. This show is comprised of 5 acts, and there will be a 10-minute intermission after Act 2. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Boatswain!
Here, master, what cheer?
Good, speak to the mariners. Fall to it yearly, or we run ourselves aground. Best served, best served.
Cheerly good. My hearts, cheerly. Yar, take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle, blow till I burst thy wind, if room enough.
Good boatswain, have care. Where's the master?
I pray now, keep below.
Where is the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You mar labor, keep to your cabins. You do assist the storm.
Nay, good, be patient.
When the sea is hence, trouble us not.
Good, yet thou remember whom you have aboard.
None that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. If you can bring peace to these elements and bring peace to this present moment, make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it so hap. Cheerly good. Out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his destiny. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast! Yar! Lower! Lower! Bring her to try with the main course! A plague upon this howling! They are louder than our weather or office! Yet again? What are you doing here? Do you have a mind to sink? Do you wish to drown?
A pox on your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you then!
Hang, cur! Hang, you whoreson, insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou. Or
I warrant him for drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and as leaky as an unstanched wench.
Lay her a hold! Send her 2 courses! Off to sea her again! Lay her off!
Alas! To prayers! To prayers!
What? Must their mouths be called?
Let us assist the king and prince, fit for their cases as ours.
I'm out of patience!
we are nearly cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chopped rascal would now my slight drowning, the washing of 10 tides.
He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and think it wits to glut him.
Mercy on us! We split! Farewell, brother! We split!
Let's all sink with the king.
No, let's take leave of him!
I would give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furs, anything. The world's above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
art my dearest father. You have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those I saw suffer. A noble vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. The cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and all the frightening souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell thy piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So lie there, my art, wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. A direful spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have so safely ordered it that there is no soul, and not so much as an hair, but did to any creature upon that vessel which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, and left me at a bootless inquisition, concluding stay, not yet.
The hours now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear, obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came into this isle? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any house or person? Of anything tell me what hath kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Yes, thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
But, sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she swore thou wast my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir a princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we camest here? Or blessed was it we did?
Both, my dear girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, where we heaved hence, but blessedly helped here.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you farther.
My brother, and thy uncle, called Antonio. I pray thee mark me that your brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved. To him I put the manage of my state, as at that time through all signores it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny him, who to advance, and who to trash for overtopping, new created those creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and in office, set all hearts in the states to what tune pleased his ear. That now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, and sucked my verdure out on it. Thou attendest not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray you, mark me. I, thus neglecting all worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, overprized all popular rate. In my false brother awaked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget in him a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was, which indeed had no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but with what my power might else exact, like one who, having entered truth by telling of it, is such a sinner of his own memory to believe his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, to the substitution, executing the royalty with all a prerogative. Hence, his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have to screen between the part he played and the part he played it for, he needs must be absolute, Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable, of confederates, so dry was he for sway with the king of Naples, to pay him annual tribute, do him homage, to back his coronet to his crown, and bow of the dukedom, yet unbended, oh, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark the condition and the event. Then tell me if this might be called a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now, the condition. The king of Naples, being enemy to me, inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the promises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extra pay to me and mine from Milan, and confer of the dukedom with all its honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight fitted to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan. Into the dead of darkness, ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity. I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that reins my eyes to it.
Here a little further, and I bring you to the condition which is now upon us, without the which the story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well, it demanded, my dear girl, my tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So great was the love my people bore me, nor set they a mark so bloody upon their business, but with colors fairer painted their foul ends. In brief, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, no tackle, no sail, nor mast. The rats instinctively have quit it. The dither hoisted us to cry to the sea that roared back to us, to sigh to the winds whose loving pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble I was then to you?
A cherubim thou wast, that didst preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven, when they have decked the sea with drops full salt. Under my burden groaned, which raised me a stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water that noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of his kindness, who being then appointed master of this purpose, did give us with rich garments, linens, and other stuffs, which since have steadied much. So out of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me with volumes for an own library which I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man.
Now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. To this isle we did arrive, and here have I, of a schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, which have time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now, I beg you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising the sea storm.
Know thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And by my prescience, that my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not, on my fortunes will ever after droop. Here, cease thy questions. Heart inclines to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come, my servant, come. Approach, Ariel, I am ready now. Come.
Heal, great master, heal, grave sir, I come. To answer thy best pleasure be to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled cloud, to thy strong beating task, Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performs to appoint the Tempest that I bade thee?
To every article I boarded the king's ship. First in the bowsprit, the deck, in every cabin, I'd flame amazement. Sometimes I'd divide and burn in many places, then meet and join. Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreaded thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning when not. The fire and brimstone of sulphurous cracking, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege. Yea, his bold waves trembled and his dread trident shook.
That's my brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this did not infect his reason.
Oh, not a soul, but felt the fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. The king's son, Ferdinand, was hair upstanding then, like reeds, not hair, was the first to jump, screaming, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here!"
'Twas well done, my spirit. 'Twas not this nigh shore.
Close by, my master.
Are they, Ariel, safe?
Oh, yes, safely in harbour is the king's ship. In the deep nook, where once thou call'st me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still-vexed bermoufs, there she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labour, I have left asleep. As for the others, I have dispersed them about the island troops, as thou badest me.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say what thou hast done with them and all the rest of the fleet.
Oh, the king's ship is safely in harbour, and as for the rest of the fleet, they are now upon the Mediterranean afloat, bound safely home for Naples, supposing they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perished.
Ariel, their charge exactly is performed, but there's more work to do. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. Ariel, the time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most judiciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remind you what you promised me, which is not yet delivered.
How now? Moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty!
Before the time be out? No more.
Master, let me remind you, I have done thee good service, served without grouch or grumblings. You promised to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
I do not, sir.
Thou dost, and thinks it much to tread upon the ooze of the salt deep, to fly upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is caked in frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Dost thou remember the foul witch Sycorax, with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgotten her?
No, sir.
Oh, you have. Where was she born? Say, tell me.
Sir, in Argia, sir.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. The foul witch Sycorax, with mischiefs manifold and sorceries a terrible, from Argier, thou sayest, was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not that true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and left here by the mariners. Thou, my slave, as thou reports thyself, was then her servant, for that thou was too weak to act her earthly and abhorred commands. Refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee, with the help of her more potent ministers, in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which space does painfully remain 12 years. And then she died, and left thee there, where you didst vent your groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this isle, save for that son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Caliban, son.
Dull thing, I say so, he that Caliban whom I now keep in my service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. 'Twas by mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in its antle, so thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon me, master. I will be corresponded to thy command and do my spiriting gently.
You do so, and after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. Say, what shall I do? What?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no eye but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take the shape hither, come in it, quickly, with diligence. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story has put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, whom I do not love to look on.
True, but as 'tis we cannot miss him. He does fetch in our woods, set our fires, and do other such offices that do profit us. What ho, slave Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come for the sake, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when? Fine apparition, hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou most vile slave begot by the devil himself, upon thy wicked dam come forth.
As wicked dew as ere my mother brushed, with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both, a southwest blow on you and blister you all over.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall for the best nights, that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Sycorax, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less, that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the brine pits, fresh springs, barren and fertile. Cursed be that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you stye me in this hard rock, whiles you do keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Would it had been done, thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any prince of goodness will not take, being capable of all ills. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not savage known thy own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words and gave them meaning. And when thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined to this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence. Thou art best to answer other business. Shrugst thou, Malice? If thou neglectest, or dost unwillingly what I command, I will fill thee with old cramps, rack thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee. I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my dam's god, Setebos, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence!
Come on to these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsied when you haven't kissed the wild waves whist, footed featly here and there, the sweet sprite's bare burden. Woof, woof! Hark, hark, I hear the watchdog's bark. Woof, woof! Hark, hark, I hear the strain of a strutting chanticleer cry. Dock-a-doo-doo-doo!
Where should this music
be. It sounds no more, and sure, it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack. This music crept by me along the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Hence I have followed it, where it hath drawn me rather. It sounds no more. It begins again.
For 5 and 5, thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that wear his eyes, nothing of him doth fade, but suffers a sea change into something new and strange. Sea nymphs are they ring his knell. Hark, hark, I hear ding dong bell.
Diddy does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal music, nor no sound the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The frigid curtain of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, my dear girl. Look, it eats and sleeps and has such senses as we have. Such. This gallant whom thou seest was in the rack, but he's something stained with grief, that beauty's canker. You might as well call him a goodly fellow. He hath lost his friends and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing noble I ever saw so natural.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Vouchsafe my prayer. Know that if you remain upon this island, may some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My last request, which I do now pronounce, is, oh, you wonder if you be a maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, where it is spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, who wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes at ebb beheld the king, my father, racked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his son being twain.
The Duke of Milan, as more braver daughter, could control thee, if now 'twere fit to do it. At the first sight, they have changed eyes. A delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, sir, I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first for which I laid eyes on. Please, father, be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin in your affections gone forth, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, not one word more. They are both in each other's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest to light winning make the prize light. One word more, sir, I charge thee that thou attendst me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not, to put thyself upon this island as a spy, to rid it from me, the Lord, on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If ill spirits have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not for him. He's a traitor. Come, I will manacle thy neck and feet together. Seawater shalt thou drink. And thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, the withered roots, and cuts when the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment until mine enemy have more power.
Father, please, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? My foot? My tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makes a show, but darest not strike. The conscience is too possessed with guilt. Come from the word, if I can hear, disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence! Hang not on my garments.
Father, please, I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. An advocate for a traitor? Hush. Thou thinkest there are no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench, to the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, then. Obey. Are thy nerves from their infancy again and have no vigor left in them?
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. The death of my father, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else of the earth make room. Space have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what else thou shalt do me.
Be of comfort, sir. My father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but until then do exactly all purposes of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak you not for him. Come.
Wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, and I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Thus, wisely, good Lord, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him over so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By the by, it will strike.
Sir,
One tell.
when every grief is entertained that comes to the entertainer,
$1.
dolor comes indeed. You've spoken truer than you have purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I intended that you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
prithee, spare. Well, I have done, but yet,
He will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Although this island seems to be desert,
And so you're paid.
uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible,
Yet?
yet
He could not miss it.
the air breathes upon us most sweetly here.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
Of that there is none, or very little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
There is an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he but doth mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is almost beyond credit,
As many vouchsafe rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were, drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, rather than being stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we first wore them at Tunis at the marriage of the king's fair daughter to the king.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never before graced with such a paragon as her queen.
Not since Widow Dido's time.
Widow? A pox of that! How came that widow in? Widow Dido?
Oh, what if he had said Widow Aeneas? Good Lord, how you take it?
Widow Dido, said you? Sir, you make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
He has raised the walls and the houses too.
Which impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will pluck up this island, put it in his pocket, take it home to his son, and give it him for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were just speaking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were in Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Mate, I beseech thee, O Widow Dido.
Oh, Widow Dido, I, Widow Dido.
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the day I first wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence, my son is lost, and at that rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal of thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat back the surges under him, and ride upon their backs like a champion. He trod the water whose enemy he flung aside, and his bold head above the contentious waves he kept. He oared himself toward shore, in good lusty strokes with his good arms, and the waves seemed to almost bow under him as if to help him. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Well, sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. Who would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but lose her to a foreigner? Well, at least she is banished from your eye, who has cause to wet the grief on it.
Prithee, peace.
You were bound between an inopportune otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience. Which end o' the beam should bow? We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have, of this business, more widows than we bring home men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most urgently.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
He'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
And were the king on it, what would I do?
Scape being drunk for want of wine.
I would, by contraries, execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service, none, contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilled, vineyard, none, no use of metal, or corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation, all men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
Common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Nature should produce all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among your subjects.
None, man, all idle whores and knaves.
I would, with such excellence, rule to excel the golden age.
God bless his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
Do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and I did such to administer occasion to these fine gentlemen who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who, in this kind of merry fooling, am still nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
Oh, what a blow was there given!
I had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
Aye, we would so too, and then go a bat following.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I'll warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh at me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What, all so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Well, do not omit the heavy offer it, sir. It so rarely visits sorrow, and when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest.
Thank
and
you.
watch your safety.
Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it then not affect our eyes? I do not feel inclined to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. Oh, what might, O worthy Sebastian, oh, what might! No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
Assuredly, I do, and it is a sleepy language. Yet thou sayest out of thy sleep? What a strange repose, to be with eyes wide open, walking, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die rather winks while thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom, and you must be so too, if heed me to do that which trebles thee over.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, while thus you mock it, how in stirruping it you more invest it. Ebbing men indeed so often do near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a birth and a purpose indeed, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, though this lord of weak remembrance, this, who shall be of as little memory when he is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for he is a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade. The king, his sons, alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope one way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note
until the sun were post, the man in the moon's too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable, she that from whom we all were swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act, where what's past is prologue, and what's to come in yours and my discharge.
What is this? How say you? 'Tis true. My brother's daughter is Queen of Tunis. So is she heir to Naples. Twixt which reasons there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that glad bell measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wig. Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Lords who can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chuff for the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
Then how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I do recall you didst supplant your brother Prospero.
True, though look how well my garments sit upon me, much fainter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But what of your conscience?
Aye, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand betwixt me and Milan, candid be they, and knelt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the ground he lies upon. If he were that now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, while you, doing thus, to this perpetual wink I may put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudent, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take the suggestion as the cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
My dear friend, thy case shall be mine. As thou gotst Milan, so shall I come by Naples. Draw thy sword, we shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Alonso.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth to keep you living, or else his project dies. While you here do sleeping lie, open-eyed conspiracy, his time doth tick, so of life you care. Shake off slumber's charms, beware. Awake, awake!
No good angels, preserve the king.
Why, how now? Ho, awake? Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we were securing your repose, we heard a great bellowing like bulls, lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, it was a din to frighten a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Surely it was the roaring of a whole pride of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, that did wake me. I shrieked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or leave this place.
Lead off, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heaven preserve him from these beasts, for he is surely in the isle.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek your son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll not pinch me, fright me with urchin shows, pitch me in the mire, or leave me like a firebrand in the dark unless he bid him. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs that lie in my barefoot way and prick at my footfall. Sometimes am I all wound with adders who do with cloven tongues hiss me into madness. Lo now, lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. Oh, fall flat, perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing. I hear it singing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one. Looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. Should it thunder now as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? Man or fish, dead or alive? A fish, he smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of knot of the newest poor John. A strange fish. Where in England now as I once was and had this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would have given me a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When he will not give a doit to a lame beggar, he'll like 10 to see it end Indian. Like a man and fins like arms. A worm on my troth. I do not let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish. This is an islander that has recently suffered by thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints man with strange bedfellows. I shall hear shroud till the dregs of the storm pass.
I shall no more to sea, here I shall die ashore. This is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner, and his mate, of Moll and Meg and Marion and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor pitch, though a tailor may scratch her where she did itch. So to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too. Well, here's my comfort.
Do not torment me. Oh.
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon me with savages and men of Ind? Oh, I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your forelegs. For it hath been said, as proper a man ever went on forelegs, cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
Spirit torments me. Oh.
This is some monster of the isle who has got, as I take it, an ague. Where in the devil should he learn our language? Well, I will offer him some relief. If it be but for that, if I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's as good a gift for any emperor who's walked on needs leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now, and he doesn't talk after my wisest. Well, he shall taste of my bottle. If he's never drunk wine afore, he'll go near to remove his fit.
Thou dost
if I can keep him tame and get back to Naples with him, I will not take much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. This is that which will give language to you, cat. This will shake your shaking. I can tell you that, and that soundly. Ugh, you cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be, but he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help as a you. Come. Amen. I shall pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Oh, mercy, mercy. These are devils and no monster. I will leave him. I have. Oh, thou art very trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent trinculos?
I too can be killed with a thunderstroke, but thou art not drowned, Stefano. I hope that thou art not drowned. I hid me under dead calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. But art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, to
do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites. That's a brave god, and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How did thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear now, how camest thou hither? I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. I swear upon this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree, since I've been cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Swear now, how thou escapest?
Swim ashore, man. I can swim like a duck, and I'll be sworn.
Kiss the book. Thou canst swim like a duck, but thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast thou any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My wine is hidden by a rock by the seaside, where my cellar is. How now, moon calf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I feared him, a weak monster. The man in the moon, a poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light, a very perfidious and drunken monster. When's God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come, then down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most ridiculous monster.
Come, kiss.
But this is a very drunken monster, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee wild berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster, to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. So I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get the young scambles from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all company, elsewise being drowned, we shall inherit here. Bear my bottle. Fill a Trinculo, we shall fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetch in firing and requiring, nor scrape trenchering, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom. Freedom, high day, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
There be some sports are painful, and in their labor delight in them sets off. Some baseness is nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. She's 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must place some thousands of these logs upon sore injunction, and my mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors, most busy when I do it.
Alas now, pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you were enjoined to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
No, sweet mistress, the sun will set before I discharge what I have set to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs a while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor girl, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look warily.
No, sweet mistress, 'tis early morning for me, when you are by at night. I do ask, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers, what is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I've broken your hest to say so.
Miranda. Admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration. Many a time have I eyed a lady, and many a time hath the virtue of their tongue brought into bondage my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, none with so full soul that some defect in them did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you are made of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from the glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good sir, and my good father. How features are abroad I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form any shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am, in my condition, a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear me speak. The very instant I saw you did my heart fly to your service, and there resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven, oh, earth, hear what I profess with kind event. If I speak hollowly, if true, invert what best bodes me to mischief, I, above all else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of these two most rare affections, heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever,
My husband, then?
Aye, with a heart as willing as bondage ever of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they, I cannot be, who are surprised withal, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet our separate time must I perform much business appertaining.
Tell not me. When the butt is out, we'll drink water, but not a drop before. Therefore, bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this isle. They say there's but 5 upon this island. We are 3. If the other 2 be brain like us, the state totters.
Servant monster, drink when I bid thee. Thine eyes are almost set in thine head.
Where else would they be set? He'd be a brave monster indeed if they're set in his tail.
Aw, my man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on again by this light. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or perhaps my standard.
Your lieutenant. If you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster?
Nor go neither. Yet you lie like dogs, and yet say nothing neither.
Speak, mooncalf, once in thine life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him, he is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I'm in case to just little constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou. Was there ever a man, a coward, that had drank as much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half fish and half monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, again, bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, if thou provest to be a mutineer the next tree, this monster is my subject, and he will suffer no indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, I will. Kneel and repeat it. Myself and Trinculo shall stand.
As I told thee before, I'm subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, interrupt this monster one more time in his tail, and by this hand I shall supplant some of your teeth.
Why, what did I do?
None then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will, revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou may knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou mayst not.
What a pardon, and is this, thou scurvy patch? I beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle away from him. When that's gone, he'll drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt this monster one more time in this tale, and by this hand I shall turn my mercy out the door and make a stockfish of thee.
Why, what did I? I'll go further off.
Did thou not say he liest?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that. As you like it, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and hearing too. A pox on your bottle. This can sack and drinking too. A murrain on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
Now, forward with your tale. Prithee, stand further off.
Beat him enough. After a little while, I'll come and beat him too.
Stand farther. Now, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom of his in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or batter his skull with a log, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Be sure to first seize his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, that when he has a house, he'll deck withal. And that, most deeply to consider, is the beauty of his daughter. I never saw a woman but my damn Sycorax and she. But she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest does least.
Is it so, a brave lass?
Aye, my lord, she'll be thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen, save our graces. And yourself and Trinculo shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Good. Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour wilt he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on my honor.
This I will tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll me the catch that you taught but whiler?
At thy request, monster. I will do reason, any reason. Fellow Trinculo, let us sing.
Flat 'em and cat 'em and scat 'em and flat 'em. Thought is free.
That's not the tune.
What is the same?
This is the tune of our catch played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest the devil, if thou beest a man, takest thou list. If thou beest the devil, show thyself in thy likeness.
Oh, forgive my sins.
He who dies repays all debts, but I defy thee. Have mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, I'm not.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of strange noises and sweet airs, things that give delight and hurt not. Why, sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and voices that, if I then had waked after this long sleep, will cause me to sleep again. And thereupon, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open, with riches untold ready to fall upon me, that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
Ooh, this shall prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
This shall be, by and by. Remember the tale.
The music is going away. Quick, let us follow it, and after do our work.
Lead, monster, we'll follow. I would I could see this tabor. You lays it on. Wilt come?
I'll follow, Stefano.
Barlicking, I can go no further. My old bones aches. Here's a maze trod indeed through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I must rest me.
Old lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness. Sit down and rest. Even here I can keep no hope for my flatterer. He is drowned whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not, for one repulse, forego the purpose you resolved to effect.
The next opportunity shall we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot, use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind keepers. Heavens, what were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia, and one phoenix reigning there on his throne, the king there.
I'll believe both. And what else want credit, come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn them.
If I were to say I saw such islanders, for certes, these are surely people of the island. Would anyone believe me? Note, their manners are more gentle, more kind than of our human generation. You will find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well. For some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse, such shape, such gesture, and such sound, expressing, though they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Peace in departing.
They vanish strangely.
Well, no issue. Therefore, they have left their viands behind, and we have stomachs. Ah, will thou not taste what is here, good Lord?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that there were such mountaineers dewlapped like bulls whose throats had hanging at 'em wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breast, which now each put her out to 5, for one will give us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last, for I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what is in it, the never surfeited sea, has caused to belch you up, and on this isle when no man doth inhabit, you mongst men, being most unfit to live, I have made thee mad, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. I and my fellows are ministers of fiat. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the howling winds, or with oft bemogged at stabs, kill with fast-closing waters, as diminish one thread that's in my robe. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massive for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that is my business to you, that you 3 from the land did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death could be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wrath to guard you from, for else falls upon your head in this most desolate isle is nothing but a heart sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel, a grace it had, devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So with good life and observation strange, my meter minister through several kinds have done. My high charms work, and these my enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are now all in my power, and in these fits I leave them, whilst I go to visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methinks the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, did pronounce the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and I shall seek him deeper than air plummet sounded, and with him there lie muddied.
But one fiend at a time. I'll fight their legions all!
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison, given to work a great time after. I beseech you that are of suppler drinks, follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may provoke them to.
Follow me, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For here I have given you a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. All thy trials was but my testing of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here for heaven I ratify this thy rich gift. Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for you shall find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
Then, as my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take thou my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, and Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue in long life, with such love as 'tis now the murkiest place, the strongest suggestion, the most opportune thing, our worser genius shall never melt mine honor into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebe's steeds lay foundered, or night lay chained below.
'Tis fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What? Ariel, my industrious servant, Ariel.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's your pleasure?
Thou and thy meaner fellows thy last service did worthily perform, and I must use thee in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble over whom I give thee power here to this place, and set them to a quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Oh, before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry, so, each one tripping on his toe, will be here with mop and mow. Does master love me? No.
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear my call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance so much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire in the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well, approach, my Ariel. Bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Appear and pertly. No tongue, all eyes, be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady of rich lees, of wheat, rye, barley, veggies, oats, and peas, on truffly mountains where live nibbling sheep, flats mead, thatched with stover them to keep, on banks with veiled and twilled brims, of which spongy April at a vast betrims, thy cold nymph's chaste crown and thy broom grooves, which the shadow of the dismissed bachelor loves. The last lord in pole-clipped vineyard, thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err, the queen of the sky, whose watery ark and messenger am I, bids thee leave thee of her sovereign grace, here in this grass plot, in this very place, to come and to support her peacocks fly amid, approach which series her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger that ne'er doth disobey the wife of Jupiter. With thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres, my unshrubbed down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and donation to freely estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly beau, if Venus or her son, as thou do know, do now attend the queen? For they didst plot the means that dusky dis my daughter got. Her and her blind boy scandaled company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid, I have met her deity, cutting clouds with Paphos and her son doth drawn with her, the thought they have done. Some wanton charm upon the man and maid, whose vow is no bedright shall be paid, till Hymen's torch is lighted, but in vain. Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke all of his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but plays with sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gate.
Oh, how does my bounteous sister? Let us go forth and bless this twain, that they may be prosperous and honored in all their issue. Honor, riches, marriage, blessings long, continuous and increasing, hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you.
Earth's increase, foys in plenty, bonds and garners never end, divines with clustering bunches growing, plants with heavy burden bowing. Spring comes to you at the farthest, in this very end of harvest scarcity, and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you.
This is a wondrous vision, and charmingly harmonious. Am I bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which I have called forth from their confines by mine art to enact these my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. Such a wondered father and a wise makes this place paradise.
Sweets now, silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. Hush and be mute. There's something else to do, else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of windering brooks, with your sedged crowns, never harmless looks, leave your crisp channels on this fairy land. Answer your summons, Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late. You sunburned sicklemen of August weary, come hither from your furrow and be merry. Make holiday your rye straw hats put on. Fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
I had quite forgot the foul plot of Caliban and his companions against my life. The hour of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid, away, no more.
This is strange. Your father speaks in a fury that works him hardly.
Never till this day I saw him touched with anger, so distempered.
You do look, my son, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. In these our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are vanished into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, these cloud-capped towers, these gorgeous palaces, those solemn temples, the great globe itself, they all which inherit it shall dissolve. Like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made of, and little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you please, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
What would my pudding master? Here I am.
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, sir. I had thought to tell you about it when I presented Ceres, but I refrained fearing I might anger thee.
Say again where thou didst leave those varlets.
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air, for breathing in their faces beat the ground, for hissing of feet, yet always bending towards their purpose. Then I blew my pipes, and so that, calf-like, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted their noses, for they smelt music. And like fools they followed my lowing through thick furzes, pricking gorse, and thorns, until I left them in the filthy mantle pool which well-avengers sell, dancing up to their feet with that foul swamp over-stinking their feet.
'Twas well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. Go, bring the trumpery from my house, that we may lay it for stale to catch these as thieves.
I go.
A devil on whose nurture never can stick, on whom my pains, humanly taken, are all lost, all quite lost. For as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear our footfall. We are now near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you claim to be a good fairy, has done a little better than run the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell a horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
As is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take any displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favor still. For the price I'll bring you to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool?
There is not only dishonor and disgrace in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting. Yet this is your harmless fairy, monster.
I should go fetch off my bottle, though I be o'er ears for my labor.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. See thou here, this is the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief, which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
O King Stephano, O peer, O worthy Stephano, look at what a wardrobe is for thee.
Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster, but we know what belongs in a frippery. O King Stephano.
Put off that gown. By this hand, I shall have that gown.
Your grace shall have it.
The dropsy drowned this fool. What do you mean to dote such on this luggage? Let it alone, and do the murder first. If he awake from toe to crown, he'll fill us with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Oh, quiet, you monster. Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin? And is this jerkin now under the line? Now, jerkin, thou art like to lose your hair and prove to be a bald jerkin.
Do. We steal by line and level. Ain't it right, your grace?
I thank thee for the jest. Here, have a garment for it. Wit shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level. What an excellent passive pate. Here's another for it.
Monster, come put some lime on your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none of it. We shall lose our time, and all be turned into barnacles, or apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, put the line in your fingers. Here, bear that away where my hogshead of wine is, else I turn you out of my kingdom. Carry that, and this, and that too.
Hey, mountain, hey!
Hey, Silver, there she goes!
Fury, here, tyrant, hark, hark. Go, charge my goblins that they grind their bones with dry convulsions, portion their sinews with aged cramps, and more pin-spotted make them than pard or cat a mountain.
Hark, they roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. All my work is almost accomplished, and thou shalt yet be free. For a little longer, follow and do me good service. At length my project gathers to a close. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and I goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
Pas the 6 hours. Past the mid-season.
So too. Say, spirit, how fares the king and his varlets?
Oh, they are confined together in the same manner as you gave in charge. The king, his brother, and yours all confined together in the lime grove which weather fends yourself, and the remainder mourning over them, and chiefly, sir, him that you termed the good old Lord Gonzalo. Oh, his tears run down his face like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works them, that were you to behold them, you would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Oh, I would, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou which art but to touch, in air, a feeling of their afflictions, and show not myself, one of their kind of relish, all sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Yet with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, with my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. The rare action is in virtue, than in vengeance. They being thus a penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown a further. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves. You elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and you that on the sand with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. You who by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites. In you whose pastime it is to make midnight mushrooms, but rise to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azure vault have I set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong by his promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pines and the cedars. The graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped, and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, that when I have even required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work my end upon those senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, return to fathoms deep in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comfort to an unsettled fancy cure thy brains now boiled in thy skull. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. O good Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes, insociable to the show of thine fall, fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning creeps upon the night, melting the darkness, so do their riotous senses begin to chase away the fumes that mantle their clearer reason. O good Gonzalo, most noble and loyal sir, to him thou followest, I will repay thee back both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, whom with Sebastian, whose inward pinches are therefore most strong, would here have killed your king, I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. The understanding begins to swell, and the rising tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me would know me. Spirit, fetch me my ducal robe from within my cell. I will discase me and myself present as I was once sometime. Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I, in a cowslip's bare I lie. There I couch where owls do cry, on the bat's back do I fly. After summer merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
'Twas well done, my Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have some freedom. So, to the kingship invisible as thou art, there thou shalt find the mariners asleep under the hatches, the master and the boatswain being awake, enforce them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly being, guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For Mercer said, living prince does now speak to thee. I do here embrace thy body, and to you and your company I bid a most hearty welcome.
Where thou beest he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. This must crave, and if this be all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and admit thee pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, Gonzalo, noble friend, let me embrace an age which will not be measured or confined.
Whether this be or not be, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste of some subtleties of the isle that will not allow you to believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, twere I so minded, I here could pluck his highness's frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I now know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us the particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, and I lost, oh, how sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and Patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose sovereign grace for the like loss I have her solemn aid and rest myself content.
You like the loss?
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the loss, have I means much weaker than you may call upon you to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh, that they were living both, the king and queen in Naples. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last Tempest. I perceive that these lords of this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason. Scarce think their eyes do offices of truth, their words are natural breath. But howsoe'er you have been justled from your senses, know that I am a Prospero, and that Duke who was thrust forth from Milan, and here most strangely to this island, whereon thou wast wrecked, was laid to be the Lord on it. No more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day. No relation for breakfast, nor one befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants and subjects, none abroad. I pray you, look in. Since you have given me my dukedom again, I give you here as good a thing, at least as much to content you as much as me, my dukedom.
Sweet prince, you play me false.
No, my love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, I have cursed them too hurriedly.
Oh, all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that hath such people in it!
Yes, it is new to thee.
Who is this maid with which you were at play? Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by a mortal providence she is mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father his advice, nor thought I had one. She has given me second life, as she is the daughter of this famous Duke of Milan, of whom I've heard much renown, but have never seen before. He is a second father. She makes him to me.
I am hers. But oh, how oddly it must sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let's not burden our forgiveness with some heaviness that's gone.
I have only wept and should have spoke ere this. Upon this couple drop a blessed crown, you gods.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and place it down with gold on lasting pillars. Did Claribel in one voyage her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, find a wife where he himself was lost, and Prospero his dukedom in this poor isle, and we ourselves when we were not our own?
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow embrace the heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Oh, look, sir, look, here are more of us. I prophesied, if there were a gallows on land, that this man could not drown. When, nay, blasphemy, which grace swears overboard, hath No oath by land? Have you no mouth by land? What's the news?
The best news is we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which since 3 glasses since we gave our split, is tight and yar and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
So, what service have I done since I went?
Well done, my good spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If we were wide awake, sir, I would strive to tell you, but we were all dead of sleep, and I don't know how, but clapped under hatches, with strange and several noises of roaring, howling, shrieking, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awakened straight away at liberty, where we beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her. On a thrice, but even in a dream we were divided, and brought mopping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind by beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you which till you shall seem probable of every one of these happen accidents. Till when, be cheerful and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Untie Caliban and his companions. Set them free.
It will be done.
How fares my gracious sir? For there are some yet missing from your company. Some 2 odd lads that you remember not.
Let every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a godly sight.
Oh, Setipos, these be brave spirits indeed. Oh, how fine my master is. I'm afraid he'll chastise me.
What things are these, Lord Antonio? Can money buy 'em?
Very like. One is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, and then say if this be true. This misshapen nymph, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her a power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, he's a bastard one, had conspired with them to take my life. 2 of these men you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
'Tis so, and he is drunk. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Say, how camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I last saw you that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly a-blowing.
What? How now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano. I am but a cramp.
You'd be the king of the isle, sirrah?
I should have been a sore one.
And this is as strange a thing as I e'er looked upon.
He has disproportionate his manners as he is in his intelligence. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions, so you look to have my favor, trim it most handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
My lords, I welcome you unto my poor cell, where thou shalt spend this night. With part of it I'll waste with such as I want not, such things as shall make it go quickly by. The awaiting of such happen accidents as since have happened since I came to this isle. And in the morning I'll take you to your ship, and there to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these dearly beloved solemnized. And thence I retire me to my Milan, where every third thought will be of my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and so expeditious you will catch your fleet far off. aerial chick, that is thy charge. And then to the winds be free, and fare you well. Please you, draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown. The one strength I have left is mine own, which is most faint. Now, 'tis true, I must here be confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned my deceiver dwell, in this bare island by your spell. But release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours myself must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please, and now I want spirit to enforce, art to enchant. But my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.